Call to order. Determine that we have a quorum.
This meeting is being recorded.
You started too early.
Yeah. Well, you turned the red light on. Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Hoskins, Commissioner Nettleton, Commissioner Flores, and myself, we have a quorum. Commissioner Nettleton, if you lead us in pledge of allegiance, if y'all will please stand for pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Real quick, the individuals that lost their lives in Uvalde, if y'all don't mind, we're gonna have a moment of silence for them, just to make sure that we don't forget them. We'll probably do this every 3 months or something, but if y'all don't mind, we'll have a moment of silence for them. Thank you. Item 4, approving and amending minutes from the previous meeting.
Motion to approve, we have minutes for July 5th, 7th, and 21st.
Second.
On the motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Hoskins, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Let's go ahead and go to citizens' comments and then down speak a little bit and then we can move forward. That works. Ms. Zapata.
Good morning, Judge Owens and County Commissioner. My name is Jasmina Zapata. I'm a leader with Border Organization and a member of Moreno Valley Subdivision. We are present this morning to ask you to recognize and acknowledge Old Foster Road in Moreno Valley as a county road. Old Foster Road is in the Country Maintenance Road list and it has been maintained by Commissioner Flores. In addition, it is used by Border Patrol, DPS, Sheriff's Office, County Fire Department, and other emergency vehicles. It is very much a public road, then it belongs to the county. If this first step is acknowledging it is a county road is taken, then in the near future we can begin talking about bringing water to Moreno Valley. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Fuentes?
Thank you, Judge Owens and County Commissioners. My name is Sandra Fuentes. I'm a co-chair of the Border Organization. As you well know, we have been working on this issue for a couple of years at least now. We have met with every single commissioner of this court and as with Judge Owens. In those recent conversations, we have heard a couple of commissioners say, it's not in my precinct. That is not my precinct. While we understand that every commissioner has their own precinct and that you respect that commissioner in that precinct, there's just some issues that you cannot just get away by saying that's not my precinct. It is not about making a decision whether I need to pave that road or not, or whether I need to pick up brush in that precinct or not because it's not my precinct. It is a lot more serious than that. It is about a necessity, the necessity being water. These people that live in Moreno Valley do not have water. So that if, we used the analogy yesterday, if Commissioner Vasquez is driving down the road that belongs, quote unquote, to Commissioner Wardlaw, and he sees a person in need of aid, is Commissioner Vasquez not going to stop and render aid because that person is not in my precinct? So if you can use that way of thinking, people are in need of aid in Moreno Valley. And for those commissioners that are in different precincts, look beyond your boundaries. Look to see if there's a great necessity there. The answer is yes, and I believe that you know that the answer is yes. I know that prior to Commissioner Warlock, Commissioner Ramon had brought water to Escondido Estates, and Commissioner Warlock continued with that. Prior to Commissioner Vasquez, it was Commissioner Owens in Precinct 2. Commissioner Owens started bringing water into that area. Commissioner Vasquez followed through with that. We're not done yet. First step, as Ms. Zapata said, is please to acknowledge that Old Foster Road is a county road. That way we can begin the steps of bringing water to those people, regardless of whether it's your precinct or not. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Marquez. Let's go ahead and go to it. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Item 15, discussion possible action on the road for Moreno Valley Subdivision. Before we get started real quick, just with everybody else, we've actually been doing, I've asked Carlos to do some homework on, and we had this conversation yesterday. I'm not too concerned about Moreno Valley Subdivision, and don't take that wrong. Let me finish before y'all get upset. There's a road called Old Foster Road that Moreno Valley Subdivision lies over. So, from 1980 something, when Arturo Moreno subdivided it, he's always referred to the roads as road easements. So to me, we're really talking about Old Foster Road. Okay, if we can figure out if Old Foster Road is ours or it belongs to the county, then naturally part of Moreno Valley Subdivision, that road is ours. So what we've asked, I asked Carlos, our county engineer, and yesterday we were looking up records and going through that. And Carlos, why don't you come up, that way you can go ahead and correct me, because I know you're going to. In 1972, we started with Arturo Moreno in the 81, 82. We looked up his documents of everything that he'd done since he's owned it to now. And bottom line is that road has always been referred to as a road easement. Okay. The Moreno Valley Subdivision, which is part of that road, Old Foster Road, Moreno Valley overlaps. We said that yesterday, we know that. We can't find, and Carlos, you correct me if I'm wrong, we can't find anything from 82 to now that says it's a county road. So we went back. Mr. Foster, Phil Foster, sold it to Arturo Moreno. So we looked to that point of time that Mr. Foster owned the property to see if he'd done anything. There was nothing ever that he did. The road does say that it is a public road. In several documents it refers to it as a public road. But we know that just because, come on in and walk on through. We're going to wait for you. I just played it. We know that in that time period, there was nothing done to say that Moreno Valley Subdivision or Old Foster Road was ever dedicated to the county. So the whole time that Mr. Foster owned it. So we went back and looked at Rio Bravo, because Rio Bravo's the one that sold it to Mr. Foster. So they took two approaches, Carlos did. One of them to look and check and see if Valverde County was ever deeded or if there was ever a plat in Valverde County's name from Rio Bravo to Valverde County. Could not find it. We went backwards the other way to check and see if Rio Bravo had ever granted anything. And we looked it up under Rio Bravo's name to check and see if they'd ever granted anything to Valverde County. So, in saying that, we all know that, and we said that it's on the road law. We know it's on there. And my question would be to the county attorney right now. We couldn't find anything that it says it's a dedicated road to the county. Couldn't find it. And I told you yesterday again that if it was on there, then it's ours, and then we can have that other discussion later on. But we couldn't find anything. So my question to you right now is if it is on a county road lot, the commissioner, it is in your precinct, so at any time that any one of the commissioners wants to stop me, I'll stop. Since it is on a county road lot, but we cannot find it where Old Foster Road was ever dedicated and the county accepted it, is it a county road?
As I opined last year, because we've been working on this issue now for, I believe that my predecessor, it was an issue for her and for about 6 months before I took office, so I inherited the issue, if you will. And it's been my opinion since, and then I also have had extensive conversations with our engineer, with Carlos, as well as with the Attorney General's office with Mark Steinbeck. And there, even though the road appears to have been listed on the inventory of roads, that in and of itself does not make it a county road. I believe that was done in error. But the risk that we run as a county, if there is no proof that the road was ever accepted by Val Verde County as a county road, then if we were to do so, we would be in violation of the model subdivision rules. And that has some consequences. The simple fact that the road was dedicated by Mr. Moreno as being a public road, it is that. It is a public road, but a public road is not necessarily a county road. A public road still has to go through the formal proceedings of being accepted by the Commissioner's Court. The Commissioner's Court can only accept a road if that road meets the minimum standards as indicated in the statute, the model subdivision rules. It's my understanding that road has never met those minimum standards, and that's probably why prior courts have not accepted that road. So although it's a public road, it is not a county road.
Okay. Any comments from the commissioners? Commissioner Wardlaw, we'll just go down the line.
No, sir.
Commissioner Munson?
No, sir.
Commissioner Nettleton?
No, I'll let Gus make his own decision. I have my opinions, but I'll let him make his own decision.
Okay.
Please say no, please share.
Commissioner Flores, do you have any comments?
The only comment, Judge, is that I hope in the future we can come up with something that'll take care of this public road, and maybe it could be dedicated to the county for road maintenance.
Okay. I don't want to leave it. I personally don't want to leave it like this. And when I say not leave it like this, I'm not saying there has to be either we're going to accept it right now and we say it's a county road or we don't. Y'all can't keep coming back to us, but it's like we're not done, but we're leaving the question still out there.
That's very good of you, Judge Owens. Your leadership right now is very meaningful. We need to take action now, not in the future. So that, I heard people say right now that if the paperwork doesn't show that it was ever a county road, does it show that it was never a county road? So, the commissioner has been maintaining it, okay? Emergency vehicles use it, I know it's a public road. Wouldn't it not behoove the county to accept it this morning as a county road and to make it easier for those emergency vehicles? Number one. Number two, to bring the much needed water. The subdivision model rules, we also have had, at least between me and Ms. Zapata, at least 6 conversations with Mark Steinbeck from the State Attorney's Office. This is what he said. Although I do not work in the department that grants that give out grant money, I can assure you that the state of Texas will not penalize a county for bringing water to a group of people that need water. So I don't think, and besides, the rules have been violated since they started selling those lots over there. Everyone knew, except for the people obviously that were buying there, that it was not an improved area. Yet this giant billboard of lots being sold was advertised and nobody put a stop to it. The county, and maybe the county was not under legal obligation, I think that's what Mr. Martinez told me, but the county knew.
Por el otro lado, señora, por favor.
The county knew that that area did not have, water, and it's bad water. We have someone in the audience right now that bought a lot 6 weeks ago. And I said, what are you doing buying over there? You know, we're in the middle of this. He says, they sold it to me. What did the real estate agent tell you? That I can just dig a well. Did that agent tell you that it's bad water? He said, no. So it's still ongoing. So we all have, there were missteps everywhere. Misstep from the people that bought there, misstep from the county, misstep from the real estate agent, misstep from the commissioner.
Ma'am, let me say a couple of things. I've never maintained the road. What I've done is 2 courtesy bladings. I've not hauled material down there or nothing like that. Now, water projects, the way they work, they're not funded by the county. They're state funded, and we go through a grant process. So to be able to go through a grant process to do a water extension down there, we got to go through the state rules. It's got to be a county road, and it's got to be 100% paved, and, you know.
Commissioner Flores, with all due respect, sir, when you are filling in holes, when you are courtesy blading or whatever.
No, it's courtesy blading, no filling holes.
That is maintaining. When you are using equipment that belongs to the county, employees that work for the county, after you have been told by the county attorney that you cannot do that, but yet you still do it.
Well, the residents were asking me to help them out, and that's what I did.
They're asking you, sir,
That's
to
what I
provide
did.
water for them right now.
Well, we can't. It's a state-funded project when you do a water extension,
And that's what we're trying to do.
okay?
We're trying to get
We
the
can't,
county.
we're not gonna be able to do it.
We're trying to get the county to accept the road as a county road, so it'd be the first step in hopefully.
The only way to
having a
accept it is if the court was to give me $1 million to pave it and to fix it. That'd be the only way that I could accept that road. Precinct 4 does not have the funds to tackle that road, because it's not a little road.
I guess, in my
You
opinion,
don't wanna go that way.
in my opinion, first question that needs to be answered, and I think it's been answered, is, has it ever been dedicated to the county? The answer is no. Can we accept it? I'm sure there would be a way somehow to get it done, but that way today is not present, is not on the table. Does at some point, does it need to become part of the county road? I think we all agree probably.
In the future, yeah.
Right. So, as of today and right now, in my opinion, it's not a county road.
It's not.
So, in visiting and listening to our county attorney, I personally, and I'm just gonna throw this out there, I can't vote to make it a county road today. Can't do it. Well, if somebody bring us back a plan, as to how this would work, I think the conversation, and we've all had the conversation, Ms. Fuentes, that, if it's used as an emergency exit or emergency ingress and egress, that might be possible.
It is used as that.
That's like what I'm saying. That's like I'm bringing it up.
If I may, Your Honor, I did, and I have spoken to Ms. Fuentes and some members of the board of the position about that angle.
Right.
Because we have been working with the Attorney General's office about just that potential angle or exception, if there is one, because of the fact that, as I understand it, under flood events, that road is relied upon a lot by first
Yes.
responders. So that is an angle that we are looking at, but we just don't have a conclusion at this point. The Attorney General's office was prepared last year to take action on behalf of Valverde County and on behalf of the residents against the seller of those properties. However, he passed away, and that kind of complicated things for the Attorney General's office to the point where they didn't think that they wanted to mess with an estate that may or may not even be established. So unfortunately, that kind of came to a halt, but we have reached out to the AG's office, as Ms. Fuentes knows, to talk about that potential exception.
If I may, Mr. Martinez, would a month suffice to see if your office can look into this and declare that it is officially an emergency, a road use as an emergency?
Before you answer, well, and let's do this, Mr. Martinez, before you answer that, we're fixing to go through a budget that is going to be more difficult than normal, because of the percentages that the state has put on us on how high we can go. So I would rather, when it comes to this, especially like you said at the beginning of the meeting, we've been waiting so long. I don't think, just my opinion, by what we've seen with the AG's office and what we're dealing with right now, a month would be enough, Ms. Fuentes. I think we're just setting a timeline to fail, if you say a month. That's just my opinion.
2 months?
And again, it's not dependent just on my office. My office can certainly make the effort. I just don't know what the reception is going to be from the Attorney General, because obviously we need their cooperation.
Yeah, well, we'd be happy to work with your office. Anything that we can do from our
Absolutely.
end to speak with the AG up there, we will do that to expedite it. I understand what you're telling me, that this is going to be an expensive endeavor, and that you have a lot more expenses, and you're going through the budget. We understand all of that. And these people in Moreno Valley, but you, standing room only, they have been more than patient, and I think a little bit more time. But we're not going away. And anything that we can help your office, Mr. Martinez, we will do that from our end over at the state level.
And we had talked about, when we put numbers together, you don't mind, I'll keep on talking and you don't mind.
Go ahead.
When we put numbers together on this, we were right around $500,000, and that was material, to do this road. So it is a costly endeavor. And I think that if we do this, we're gonna be opening the doors to at least 3 more roads that I know of that are in the same shape.
Well, let them organize, those people that are on those 3 other roads, because they've been organizing and they're here. Thank you so much for putting us on the top of the list, and we'll keep in contact with Mr. Martinez's office.
So do you wanna wait for him to bring something back?
Yeah.
I have a motion to give it to David and let them work together to see what legal, if you can give us a legal opinion as to which way we could actually accept it, and then come back with a cost. Second. I made the motion, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. I made the motion and you accepted it. I got a second. All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? That works. You gonna abstain? Okay. 4-0 and 1 abstention.
All right, very good, thank you.
All right. And we'll wait a little bit because the room is full. They're gonna walk out. Got it.
Can I ask a quick question? Did they already give them made the road?
He has actually given them that dollar amount.
I mean, that's about $5,000.
I mean, but then, if that was done, then they could see that road.
We've already discussed that. And we discussed it here, and then we discussed it with them. Yes, ma'am. Are we good? Item 6. Approving monthly reports from elected officials. Move.
Second.
Motion Commissioner Middleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0 vote. Item 7, approving bills for monthly payment. Second. Motion Commissioner Middleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. We're gonna go to item 11 real quick, since the judge is here. update on the 83rd Judicial District Court Summer Internship Program and introduction of Tyler Roberts and Alexandra Clay. Summer 2022 intern.
All right, I hope to present something to you a little more, less controversial. All right. That's the way it is.
Now get up there where we can see y'all.
Yeah, okay, now they're in the back.
Yeah, well, I asked them to move, so I moved forward. Now we can see them a little bit.
This is part of the internship. It's exposing to all sorts of courts.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, Judge and Commissioners, good morning. I want to present the 83rd District Court interns for this summer, and thank you personally for supporting and funding this important endeavor. Today's students are tomorrow's leaders, and your support helps these students see what the practice of law really entails. It gives them perspective on what our community has to offer in terms of the many legal opportunities in Del Rio and Valverde County. I'm always impressed, and I always remain enthusiastic about the talented students our local area schools produce, and this year is no exception. Alexandra Clay, right here behind me, graduated from Delaware High School in 2019. She completed her undergraduate degree in sociology with a minor in government from the University of Texas at Austin in just 3 years. She has already taken her law school admission test and worked with us last summer in a COVID shortened term. We actually reached out to her to apply again because she was so helpful to us, and we wanted to afford her the benefit of a full summer term. Tyler Roberts, she graduated from Brackettville High School in 2014. She attended Texas A&M at College Station and graduated from Aggieland in 2018 with a dual degree, one in agricultural communication and journalism, and a second degree in animal science production. In 2019, she went on to work for Senator Pete Flores and also worked for Chairman Andrew Murr in our state legislature. She has completed her first year of study at Texas Tech School of Law. Both interns got to observe various court proceedings, and they helped us with many administrative matters, including the budget you alluded to. They helped us put that together. Just want to let you know that, Judge and Commissioners. Together, we also helped.
Blame that on y'all.
We hope you'll look at it with a little bit better view. That's all I got to say. Together, they helped the 83rd Court, and our court coordinators went to mandatory training this summer as well. Both of them had to go to mandatory training, and we had somebody to help us out, and it really, really did help us. So they, in their own words, I have not told them what to say. I'm just going to tell you that. They're here to address you this morning about the program, and thank you for putting this on the agenda. Okay, so I'm going to have Alexandra Clay come on.
Hi. Good morning, Judge Owen and County Commissioners. Thank you so much for having us and allowing us to come speak with you all today. My name is Alexandra Clay. I'm from Del Rio. I'm a recent UT graduate, as Judge mentioned, and I am currently applying to law school. This is my second summer here as a judicial intern for Judge Cadena, and I am so thankful that y'all created this opportunity for me and countless others to be an intern for him. I've learned so much from him, and I know it will serve me well in my career. I've already become more confident to work in a legal setting, be more productive and active in the legal workforce, and I am more aware already of what goes on in my community. I've already been able to go on countless tours and meet with people from the probation department, the sheriff's department, district attorneys, county attorney's office, federal public defender's office, and many others. I've been able to see what they do on a daily basis, and it's opened my eyes to the many opportunities here for me and others to come back and work here and create a career. So thank you so much for this opportunity for me and Tyler and many others to be an intern for Judge Cadena. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. Thank you all for having us here this morning, and gosh, ditto to what everything they both said. I don't know how I could follow that besides telling y'all how thankful I am to be here in front of y'all and for this internship program and for y'all's support. I know I've met with Judge Owens and several of y'all. You know, judicial internships are so competitive in law school. And I was so thankful to be able to come home and get paid and be with my family and see everything that Del Rio has to offer. I mean, I live literally 2 doors down, and I didn't even know where this room was this morning, before this internship with Judge Cadena. He has done such a tremendous job at this internship, showing us the ins and outs and what it takes to be a true, non-biased judge. And I think that's so rare, especially in this community, or not this community, but in our world today. I just cannot thank y'all enough, and I've learned and been able to work and learn from several attorneys who I hope to come back and practice under and work with after law school. You know, growing up in Del Rio, most of us want to get out. But this internship made me realize that I want to come back and I want to practice here in Del Rio with all of you. So thank y'all so much again.
Can we have a picture? Need a picture? No, Judge, everybody.
You look that well for a picture.
Don't want any more attention.
Just kidding.
Come on around, Judge, come on around, and if they'll come on around, the commissioners, we'll just gather around here somewhere. Judge, if you want to get in the middle, Judge, you'll get in the middle, and each one of y'all on that side.
Okay. I'm gonna stand by the edge.
Okay, you can leave it, Judge. Let's be in the middle, because of your deal.
And we did not arrange this.
I'm not an angry.
Maybe not that close. All right. One more time. Perfect, thank you.
Karen.
Thank you all.
Congratulations.
On me?
No, on me.
Thank you, man. Yes. Love you. Thank y'all.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And good luck, both of y'all, getting into law school. I know y'all do well. I've been making comments on the stay quiet. We'll go to agenda item 8, discussion of possible action to approve auditor's report.
Second.
Motion Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 9, discussion of possible action on the following budget adjustments. A, $20,000 from available appropriations to tax assessor software conversion costs. Is this something that, well, this one here is a dollar amount that, when we made the when we decided to go to the, and correct me if I'm wrong, when we decided to go to the other program, the tax assessor said that she had money in the account, and that's how come we're coming back and doing this.
That is correct.
There's no money.
There is no conversion cost funds available.
When we voted to do it,
That was, right, the conversion cost, it was paid to absorb the city of Del Rio into the Harris database. This is conversion cost from Harris database over to the ACTS database.
And there's no money in her budget to do.
No, there is not. So, what we're looking at is there's a 110 in contingency. We still got 35 that's reserved for a bucket truck. I don't know if that bucket truck's gonna happen. If it's not gonna happen this year, that puts it around.
The bucket truck, let's leave that money alone.
Okay, so we got 110.
Office supplies.
I'm sorry.
Nothing, office supplies?
No, not to
Nothing
cover
else?
this. I mean, about $680, something like that, maybe. Yeah. 187 in travel.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton. Have a second?
Second, Judge.
Second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 10, discussion of possible action to approve the treasurer's report. This is a good one. I need a
Motion.
second. Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 11, we've already done. I appreciate the judge bringing them to the court. Item 12, discussion matters relating to COVID. We have 710 active cases right now. Since the last time they reported, a little over a week and a half ago, we had 411 new cases. The question was asked yesterday by one of the commissioners, are we tracing, if you test at the kiosk in front of the mall, our tracers will give you a call to release you. And I say that because that's what they're supposed to do. We've had issues with HR here, not with HR, but with questions from HR, county employees, with the testing at the kiosk. You're supposed to be getting a hold of within 5 days, and then they'll figure out whether to release you, not release you. Usually it's 5 days quarantine, no symptoms, go to work. But then the tracers are supposed to call you. So, if you don't get a call, you just can't sit there and not do nothing. Make a phone call and let's figure out how to get people back to work. We've had this conversation again with Juanita here, here at the county. Again, 5 days, you don't get a phone call, make some phone calls, and call her, call me, and let's try to get you back to work and get you in there. We are having an issue right now with home testing because we're getting calls from employers that the person home tested, they're waiting on a call or waiting on something to get released, but nobody even knows that they were positive because they've not told anybody else. So, again, to answer your question, Commissioner, we're supposed to be doing it. Anybody else? We had 9 people here at the hospital. We were waiting on an update from that from last week, and there was 11 people out of county in the hospital. So our numbers are going up. Our numbers will go up as soon as we go back to school. It's a given.
Judge, so what would be the plan here to kind of put a stop to some of this or control or, I mean?
I think, Commissioner, that, you know, it's on us. We have a couple of people in the audience that are wearing masks. You know, end of the day, it helps. But it's really on us. I will tell you that some of the people that are COVID positive, knew they were COVID positive or knew they were positive and still went upon their regular lives.
Yeah.
And went out into the general public, and their family members, didn't know that, that the party that they were at with this one person that, he was COVID. I mean, so it's on us. I mean, a little bit of.
I'd like to say something, Judge. I'd like to see maybe, if this keeps going up, have some, clinics for booster shots, you know,
They're planning clinics, and they're also talking to the school district about trying to get, a clinic for the school, and then a couple of other clinics at the mall. And then since the National Guard had been helping us with the vaccines, last month they had to reinstate our number.
I'd like to maybe us planning something there at the community center. Now that we have the Social Security office open, there's heavy traffic every day there, and with distribution and all that.
Judge, what's the situation of the county employees?
As far as, well, I'll give you one of the scenarios that we've been through. We had an individual that tested positive, had been out for 5 days, no more symptoms, was not contacted, then was contacted and told to wait another 5 days, but yet he had no symptoms. That individual, when we got involved, he came back to work the next Monday. So if you're home testing, which that's the issue that we just had, and they tested positive, stay home for 5 days. We'll have somebody call you to see if you still have symptoms, and then try to get you back to work. If you're not contacted, on the 5th day, we've asked and we've to call Juanita, call myself, and then we will try to push that forward when it comes to county employees.
So do we have a lot of them in the county?
No.
I've got one, my road and bridge crew.
Yeah, no, as far as the individuals that are in the county, we've had, that I know of, 4 in the last month and a half. Any other questions on COVID? None? Item 13, the discussion on immigrants. Yesterday, we'd asked Mr. Pettis from the state to give us an idea on how many people have been transported since April 11th of this year that have been transported out of Del Rio by buses paid for by the state. So I guess Sunday's numbers up to Sunday from April 11th to Sunday, there was 3,009 individuals that were transported on buses that were paid for by the state. Like I said, they're transported to Washington because they can get off at any point that they stop. I think they were intended to go to Washington. Don't know if they made it. Our numbers here, compared to everybody else, are low, but we're still getting them. I think to a tune of, in Del Rio and Comstock, somewhere in the 180, 190 a day. But we know that at some point we will probably be inundated. Like some of the other counties around us, I think it's just a matter of time before that gate swings open. Hopefully not sooner than later. And there is another item on here, and we can talk about that later on when we get to it. Is there any other discussion on immigrants? Anybody have questions? No? No. Okay. We'll go on then. Item 14, discussion possible action on setting aside $825,000 for IT upgrade out of the remaining ARPA funds. Ram had brought me a deal during his budget of $782,000 to do the upgrade, and then there were some upgrades at other areas that he added to it, and we came up to the $825. Part of it is the upgrade at the community center, which would also help the fire department and
Precinct 4
yard. And I know that the fire departments had issues with
stability.
So one of the reasons that I put this on this time was that when Ram presented it in his budget, it was $300 and some odd thousand, but we would end up paying over a period of 3 years, and that dollar amount would be somewhere around the 1.1 million. So I asked Ram, what if we were to do it all today and continue with all the warranties? Wouldn't it be better? And if we were to do it today and not have to stretch it out over 3 years, this is a dollar amount that we came up with. I asked him to keep it brief and answer all questions, but, just point blank, what is it that we're replacing for $825,000?
So our current environment consists of aging servers, firewalls, WAPs. Even our operating system for server will be outdated here coming year. So IT is obviously recommending that we refresh our environment to include all new virtual equipment at the data center. But this also extends out to all our buildings, courthouses, even our island networks, to include all new networking equipment. Over the last 4 and 5, 6 years, the county has tremendously grown in technology. So you might have been seeing some slowness in our networks, and that is due to the sheer growth that we've experienced. We're on target with our projection with regards to our data center refresh. The only area we fell short was our backup solution. We exceeded the data amount, and that backup solution was recently re-implemented. In a nutshell, and to keep it short, as Judge Owens says, I know I risk the chance of losing your attention when we talk IT stuff.
Mine for sure.
Yeah.
Short and simple and to the point. It's not a good way to start off by throwing rocks. Throw that out there.
The solution I'm putting forth, actually, Judge, would cover and accomplish all of our objectives for the next 7 years. So we won't have to go through that, having to meet again after the 3-year period to find funds to extend the warranties. And you very well know that providers have pretty much figured out that subscription-based is the way they conduct business. So this amount also covers us for our security services, for all our extended warranties for the 7 years, which is the life span of the equipment. This also includes, as you mentioned, a fiber leg for the community center so that we can have that environment. That environment that they're at is unstable due to the resources that are available. So this would greatly improve their networks, and it would benefit the county with regards to cutting back on residual. We would be able to get away from firewalls and spectrum at the fire department at precinct 4. It also extends the increased protection and security for networks such as the sheriff's office in Comstock, veterans office, precinct 1, precinct 2, precinct 3 buildings. They would all be incorporated in the same protection that we're designing for the rest of the county. I apologize for not having the project summary to all of you sooner. We're at the final stages of our design. I did email everyone copies yesterday, and I have printed copies with me for those of you that would like to have a copy.
Mr. Ram?
Yes, sir.
I got a question. How long would it take you to do all this upgrading?
Well, that's a good question because in these,
Because I was gonna bring up, number one priority, start at precinct 4. And go around.
we're living in some really unsettled times. I mean, the cost of IT technology has really.
I'll make a motion to approve with the understanding that precinct 4 is last.
I'll second that for discussion.
Ram, what would the 825, what kind of a savings would that be?
We potentially stand to save anywhere between 400,000.
400,000.
By doing it all in a turnkey 7-year program. Now, on the bright note, because we're addressing all the cybersecurity issues that the county has, this qualifies, and I visited with our county auditors. We do meet the criteria for ARPA funding. Correct?
How long would this last?
7 years. And by the way, to start and complete this project, 3 to 6 month lead just to receive the product.
Wow.
Yes, sir. So it'd be another 3 to 4 months to complete the
So
project.
by the time you're done, it probably, the warranty will expire.
Let's hope not.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that, Judge.
All right, I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody
Thank you.
against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 15, we already talked about. Item 16, approving Valverde County resolution authorizing submission of local park grant program application to Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Do we have that resolution? It's all ready to go? I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Have the motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 17, approving Valverde County Local Park Grant Program Certification Program Assurances.
We get to go? Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Nettleton, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 18, approving affidavit posting public hearing notice and citizens participation plan for 2023 local park grant application to Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Carl, where are we at with this? We've done the hearing and everything, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, motion to approve, affidavit. And the hearing notice, I mean, we already did that.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Nettleton. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Approving on-site septic system project application for address location 7979 Vega Verde Road to be paid on ARPA funds. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Status update. Discussion, Valverde TWDB 10443 EDAC. Escondido project. Paul?
Thank you, Judge. Just right quick, just bring it to the court's attention. You may recall back there probably 10 years ago, Valverde County received an economically Distressed Area Program grant from the Texas Water Development Board to do the study out there at Escondido, Rise Estates, Rancho Del Rio, all that part of the world out there. That project was funded, as I mentioned, through the Texas Water Development Board. That grant has been in an escrow account over here at the Del Rio Bank and Trust. And so we brought it to the court's attention here 3-4 months ago to get approval to move forward with that. Contracts have been executed back there way some time ago. Anyhow, actually today, they're going to start doing the surveying out there, the topo surveying. They'll come back if there's any easements for right-of-way, stuff like that, that'll be done as a separate element. TRC Engineers was the engineering firm the county selected back there. And so they're actually going to initiate that today. And if anybody would like to meet, we're going to meet at 2 o'clock. We welcome anybody who would like to meet out there to kind of initiate this, and surveyors will be on the ground. Yeah.
What's the final product? What will it be?
Sir?
The final product
Time?
that comes out of this. The final product that comes out.
Oh, the final product will be a proposed plan to provide the water infrastructure out there to everybody who was originally there at the time that the application was submitted to the Texas Water Development Board.
No idea how many that is.
Well, it was 150 homes at one time. Yep. That's how many that DSHS, Department of State Health Services, actually surveyed out there.
Actual homes or lots?
Homes.
Actual.
Yeah, people that were actually living out there at the time. Yeah, it's actually 151 homes.
And you just made a comment, this is to serve the people that are already there. That's what you just said, the people that are already there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So somebody with a new home, how do they get in this program?
They would have to bring that back to the court for approval, in my opinion.
So this will take water through the entire area out there.
This proposal, this plan would actually take water to everybody who was originally there.
The whole entire subdivision.
Yes.
Which then opens the door for all the lots that haven't been developed to be developed.
Yes.
Which
the county would still have control over that.
How would we have control?
Well, it's
once the lines are in place, don't we give them to the city?
But if any lot was actually out there and needed to be replatted for additional infrastructure or sold or anything like that, I would think that would have to come to the court.
Well, the plat would, but the hooking up of the additional water, once it's given to the city, then would become the city's issue, would it not?
Yeah, originally it was just for the 151 homes that were out
So the
there.
lines will be sized only to supply those 150 homes?
Yes.
Not sized for any of the vacant lots?
Well, at the end of the day, that's what we wanted to do from the very beginning, if you'll remember.
I remember.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
And then down the road, that got changed.
So, started out, you recommended what size?
Well, the size of the lines, the amount of connections per line is dictated by TCEQ.
But then the county put in smaller.
Bigger.
No, bigger.
Bigger.
Originally, the proposed plan originally was to do 2 and 4 inch lines because it was not going to be a fire flow system. It was like just going to be a system to provide water to those homes. And then through the course of time, those lines are upgraded to 8 inch to provide for fire flow protection.
We need to be careful.
And that's actually what's been installed currently.
We need to be careful. We're fixing to open up an encroachment issue out there.
Again, this is just for the plan, it's not for the construction. Should the county want to move forward after the plan is developed and the surveying is done, they would come back with a subsequent application to the Texas Water Development.
This one is just,
actual
and
construction.
I'm glad you get that one. This one is just to do the study. Anything else, if the court decides to move forward, then it still has to come before the court. This is just a tool.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any other questions on this? None? Okay, we'll move forward.
Good. Thank you,
Item-
Judge.
Thank you, sir. Discussion possible action or approval to waive insurance requirements in small arena events scheduled at the fairgrounds by nonprofit organizations.
We table this.
Yes, sir. I have a motion to table, Commissioner Wardlaw.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries to table. Item 22, discussion of possible action on creation of a legislative committee to discuss potential legislation for the 2023 Texas legislative agenda.
The, first date of 5 bills is coming up in November. There's gonna be things that we need to do to address wind energy and other things. I've already had discussions with people who wanna look at groundwater and those kind of things. I think we need to start preparing between the city and the county and the school district to come up with something on what our legislative agenda is going to be so we can start working on drafting legislation for the upcoming session. We are going to want some sort of bill that grants us some authority to regulate wind farms in this. We have annexation issues. There's lots of things. So I think we need to come up with some sort of committee to sit down and start discussing what those legislative agendas are going to be so that we're not in Austin fighting amongst ourselves. We can actually deal with that at a local level.
Do you want to put out some names, Commissioner?
I think we need somebody from the city, the county, and the school district. Doesn't really matter to me who those people are.
You want me to send a letter to the city and county, or the city and the school district, and have them get us some names and put it back on the agenda?
Yeah.
One of the things that this has started, Commissioner, when we put this on, we actually visited with the Kelsey Bernstein with TAC. She called, yesterday, and she wants the county to host a legislative, group, county judges in the area and maybe some mayors, but to host them here in Valverde County. And I told them that we would be more than willing to do that. She would just get us a number of how many, and then to sort of come together again, so we just ain't fighting amongst ourselves. So that, she sent me an email. She'll send you another one telling me how many and who's responding, and that'll be held, and I'll give you all more information, but that'll be held as soon as I get it. That'll be held at the end of August. So that's coming also. Do you want to just bring this back?
Yeah, we'll send out a letter, and then once we get names, we'll bring it back.
Okay. Item 23, discussion possible action regarding approval on Valverde County declaration of disaster for the unprecedented levels of.
I'll make a motion to table this to elected executive.
Second. I have a motion to table, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. Item 24, discussion possible action regarding approval for Valverde County to enter into agreement with AEP to extend overhead lines to feed 5 LED street lights on Milagro Lane, curve 4, in the amount of $15,730.26 to come out of Precinct 4 operating budget and grant authority County Judge to sign.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 25, discussion possible action to approve Vista Solution Group Management Scanning Software for Valverde County District Clerk's Office. Joanne, we're approving this. It's a contract? It's a contract.
Yeah,
Have you seen?
it's the same contract we used at our office.
Okay.
You have the money to pay for this?
Yes.
Motion to approve. Pending contract review by the county attorney. I'm sure it's the same contract.
It is.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner, I'm sorry, I made y'all get up. Did y'all want to say anything now that y'all are there?
No.
It's all good?
Yes.
Sometimes it's just best, leave it alone. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Item 26, discussion possible action to approve a price increase per line for satellite phone service from $65.04 to $125 per line due to the current vendor no longer providing satellite phone service, and authorize the transfer of our satellite phone service to the new vendor effective September 1st, 2022 at $125 per line, keeping the same equipment and service.
Motion to approve for Ranger Global Services.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Item 27, discussion possible action to rescind order approving the trade of in of a 1999 John Deere 924GZ, VIN number 6YW00234 for the new wheel loader for precinct 1.
Motion.
Motion. Commissioner Wardlaw, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 28, discussion possible action to authorize the transfer of a 1999 John Deere 924GC, that VIN number from precinct 1 to precinct 4, and to move $18,000 from precinct 4's operating budget to precinct 1's capital outlay budget for the purchase of a new wheel loader for precinct 1. Funds, precinct 1, road equipment, 2016 tax note, APR funds, and anything else that he might have.
I'll make a motion, but it's got two corrections there. It's not a John Deere, it's a Cat 924 loader, and the price is not $18,000, it's $16,000.
Okay, all right. So if that changed,
He's gonna keep it until he gets a new loader. He's gonna pay me $2,500 a month rent.
So the one above it, the item above it that we just approved, it says John Deere. So that should have said
That should be a
Caterpillar.
cat as well.
Huh?
Yes, it's just a cat.
Yeah.
I'll second that motion.
We're gonna go back to item 27. Commissioner Wardlaw, will you rescind your motion?
Yes.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Accept that. Okay, and it's a 1999 Cat 924.
There you go. Yes.
Commissioner Wardlaw, do you make that motion on item 27?
Make that motion.
Second.
With the correction?
Yes.
Okay.
Second accepted.
Commissioner Wardlaw,
Second.
Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. 5-0. Item 28, it is a 1999 Cat 924, and the dollar amount, Commissioner Wardlaw, was $26,000. What was the dollar amount?
16.
We're both for 50. Is a Cat 924, and the dollar amount that will be transferred from precinct 4 to precinct 1 out of precinct 4's operating budget would be $16,000, and then to put it in precinct 1's capital outlay, that way he can go do the rest of what he's doing. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 29, discussion possible action to approve a 5-year or 3,000 hour preventative maintenance agreement for precinct 1's purchase of a John Deere 444P wheel loader, and authorize county judge to sign. A motion, Commissioner Wardlaw.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Flores. Money's coming out of,
Operating, Commissioner?
it's coming out of your operating, Commissioner? Okay. Second, you accept that?
Second accepted.
Motion, all right. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item number 30, discussion possible action on approval to allocate funds from general capital expenditures to replace a 5-ton system at the Dink Wardlaw building.
Motion to approve. I thought we already replaced some.
We had been replacing them, but this is one of the last ones, yeah.
Second.
Do you need, where's it coming from? We talked.
It's
about it.
coming-
General capital.
It is, it's out of the $35,000
that
that
we
was
set
set
aside
aside
for the
for the
lights.
light.
Okay. I just want to make sure that everybody knew that. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 31, discussion possible action on approval to advertise for fiscal year 2022-2023 annual commodity bids for the following goods and services: fuel, road construction materials, uniforms, janitorial services, and pest control.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 32, discussion possible action to set September 1st as the deadline for all purchase requests to be allowed for current spending. Repair services, blanket purchase requests will be allowed to ensure continued operation of the department. We have this issue every year that we're writing purchase requests in the middle and at the end of September, and then we're not getting that. We're not getting those bills until October, and the end of October.
Or even the products, goods and services are not even I mean, we don't even get those in until like maybe 3 months after the
Well,
payment.
but as long as the invoice is in before the year's over, and maybe the merchandise or the equipment or whatever is not in, I mean, it's still
The
good to go.
equipment's, okay, it's the goods, like anything else that's being ordered, office supplies, whatever parts or whatever is needed, tires at the last moment. But sometimes we don't get in till the end of the year.
But the rule here, I mean, would be that you have an invoice or purchase order number before the year is over to make it legal and to make it right.
Before September.
I mean, of course, if y'all want to cut it short, I mean, it's up to the commissioners, but,
I think it would help not only the purchasing department, but as well as on the auditor side.
How are you guys? To piggyback off Ram, I know everything has to be in an elevator pitch speed and it's a two-story building. So, we can't be signing invoices if we haven't received the product. Right? Because that signing the invoice means you received a good or service. Right? Okay.
I guess the reason that this is brought up is because to keep from trying just to go through and spend everybody's money at the end of September.
Right.
And then we're not getting.
We're gonna roll it over. We're freezing everything except open bids.
Except open PO, I mean, I don't want to stop the operations of any departments. It's just, I think it'll be more on a case by case.
I'm just asking what you want us to accomplish here. I'm
Yes,
fine with it either way.
yes, just to freeze spending up until September 1st. For anything,
30 days is 30 days, but I mean, I think 15 days would be more sufficient.
Well, what we're trying to get here, Commissioner, is
Because
that
I'm trying to get all
at the end of
the-
at the
trying
end
to
of
get all the
September,
rec-
everybody wants to go spend their money. And then we really didn't need to spend
Well,
it.
why don't we do it, Judge, September 15th? That's the deadline, period. And that gives them 2 weeks to run up, invoices or whatever. I mean, they need to pay.
it'll give us time to
We're not
order.
gonna have the data on that. Well, I would imagine, once again, like, as the judge pointed out, this is just to keep someone from probably,
If you need the
Buying stuff
product,
they didn't really need.
yes.
that would be one conclusion.
Just to be able to spend all their budget.
Correct, and you're not using that resource until the following year. Resource should match the time. So if we're using a resource in the subsequent year, the
Then buy it.
activity
I would
of the payment should come in out. And all it does is just
I'll make a
fund
motion
balance
to
to
approve.
over appropriate.
We used to do this every year.
I'll second it.
Okay.
So
So,
maybe y'all have a hard time, but I'm gonna second it.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0.
so we're not buying any more products.
Y'all need to quit, y'all gonna talk about it. Item 33, discussion possible action on approval to declare the following items as surplus property and designate for proper disposition. Disposition may include but not limited to auction, reassigned, recycled, and or destroyed. And there's a list of stuff
Motion to
there.
approve as presented otherwise.
Motion Commissioner
Second.
Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Item 34, discussion possible action authorize the Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to purchase items from Operation Lone Star, the total amount of $805,500.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that, Judge.
Motion Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 35.
What is the, Judge, what is the attached list?
It ought to be inside your package, sir. Yeah, it's in your package.
It's a lot of stuff. He went on a shopping spree.
That's only half of it. The other half goes to war.
Yeah. You just gave
You
it
give them
five
money,
bucks.
they spend it.
Item 35, Commissioner, you okay with that?
Yeah.
Item 30,
They won't come after the executive.
which one?
I thought we were on 35.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't read it yet, but okay. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Motion to table item 35. Item 36, discussion possible action request and authorization to apply for and accept the 2022-2023 Operation Lone Star Grant, and approve the resolution.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 37, if you don't mind, if we could, table that.
Table to let them go get a
Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries, 5-0 vote. Item 38, discussion and possible action regarding the use and reservation of Alcoa Fields by Mr. Matt Terranza. George?
Move.
Second. Okay, you lost me.
I need a motion
To
to
the use?
allow him to use it and reserve it.
Okay.
That's what we're asking for, right?
Yeah. That'll work. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? Aye. Sir, go ahead. You good? Motion carries 5-0. Item 39, discussion possible action approving the lease between Valverde County and J. Gonzalez Second Annual GBC Fest, April 1st, 2023.
Take.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. Was Mr. Terrazas here? You see him? Okay. Item 40, discuss and approval to hire co-op students during school year 2022-2023 for 63rd District County Judge. Student will be paid 100% through school co-op program.
Move.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Monday.
Judge, if I may, can we add approval of,
You're too
you to sign if there is a contract? I've called the school district and I still haven't gotten
Amend
it.
my motion to authorize the judge to sign any contract.
Commissioner Vasquez,
I'll
accept?
second accept.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Human resource report from July 6, 2022 through July 19, 2022.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 42, discussion possible action regarding revision of plat, replat, establishing lots A, B, C, block 22, Valverde Park number 2, out of lots 28, 29, block 22, Valverde Park number 2, as recorded under volume 2, page 28. That's in.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Second.
I have a motion to approve Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Nettleton. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Item 43, discussion possible action in hiring Sandra Luna effective July 11, 2022. Ms. Luna will be replacing Silvia Rivera, who will retire effective July 29, 2022. The overlap in employment is to ensure an efficient transition. Ms. Rivera will train Ms. Luna during the time period. There is sufficient money in the county's budget line item to absorb.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Item 44, closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code A 551.071 parentheses 2, attorney-client privilege, B 551.071 parentheses 1 parentheses A, contemplated litigation, C 551.072 regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property and possible action in open session thereafter. D 551.073 regarding the negotiating contract, lease, or value of real property and possible action in open session thereafter. E 551.076 regarding security devices, security audits, and/or security personnel. If y'all will give us the room, and we'll take a little 5-minute break. Commissioners, you can come back. Come back into session. It's 11:46. Now we'll table some items. The one that we tabled, item 21.
The recording has stopped. This meeting is being recorded.
I'm gonna start all over again. Commissioners Court, come into session. Now it's 11:47. Item 21, 23, 35, and 37 were tabled. The one that we're gonna come back to is item 35.
We'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion on item 35 to approve the MOU by Commissioner Nettleton, second by Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. We'll go on to item 45, Commissioner's comments. Is there any? There is none. The judge's comments, there is none. Item 47, this meeting is adjourned.